Good morning. It is 4:20 a.m. and welcome to the Santa Cruz Run. We have an 11-stop city trucking episode lined up for you today. First stop will be over in Santa Nella at the Fusion Travel Plaza. Then we'll be heading over towards Santa Cruz to the famous Mountain Inn in Mount Madonna, down into Interlaken to a Sunshine Farm, then heading over to the mini market in Watsonville, the car zone in Harvey West. Stop number 6 is going to be in Moss Beach at a cafe diner. Then we'll be heading downtown into Santa Cruz to an NAF fuel depot, followed by a drop-off at a pizza house at the Santa Cruz Boardwalk, heading into Lower Ocean to the Real Deal Megastore, up into the Banana Belt to drop off at a home goods store, and finally our last drop is at the famous country store on State Road 17. Once we've hit all 11 stops, we'll be heading back to our North San Jose USBB Depot. So let's hop back into the truck and get this day going. All right, we are back here in our 10-speed Mack Anthem with our 370 horsepower Cummins. We are in a city truck through and through, single axle truck, and a single axle 28-foot reefer trailer. Once again, SCS, if you're watching this, we absolutely need this in the game. Being able to do LTL Local deliveries would be an amazing addition to American Truck Simulator. All right, it is 5:15 in the morning. We have 14 hours to start our shift. Let's hit the road. Parking brake in. Thank you for being here to join me on this city trucking episode. This is episode number 3. Let's stop here at the shack. All right, we are cleared to go. So for our first stop, we need to be getting onto the highway, and we will be heading south on 101. And then making a left to head east on Route 152 to our first drop. All right, here we go. Let's pull up our job notes. Go. It is going to be a beautiful morning down here in the Bay Area of California, my home region. And it has been an absolute blast driving for USBB in my home region. And I hope you get to enjoy these episodes with me. City trucking is not something that is in the game, but I am hoping to bring it to life and show SCS that it is possible. Okay, here's our first turn. We've got our signs for 101 South. Now, in real life, this on-ramp to head to 101 South, I've taken it many times on road trips. It can be an absolute nightmare. It is a very short exit. It is very busy at this exit, where you've got people coming off of 101 to get on 880 and folks trying to get off of 880 onto 101. All right, here we go. Left lane is clear. Let's hammer down. All right, here we go. We've got our sign, Route 152 towards Gilroy. We are going to be taking this exit. Start slowing it down. I'll hit that engine brake. Whoa. All right, can you catch this light? We absolutely can. We've got a short stint on Route 152 heading east. We will be at our first drop in no time. And these beautiful California golden rolling hills. Absolutely nailed it. This is very true to real life. And throughout this episode today, a couple of these stops we'll be making today are going to be based on real life locations. All credit goes to SCS for having modeled these in the game. And I am excited to show you my home region and specifically how good Santa Cruz looks. All right, we've got some signs. Here's our Fusion Travel Plaza sign. We're going to be making a right. We are minutes from our first drop. What is going on over there? Here we go. After you, sir. Or ma'am. Are you waiting for us? Nope, you're not. Okay. Alright, now let's go. So we have 14 hours today to make all of our drops. I do not know if we will do that. This is our second time doing this run, so we have a little bit of practice, but anything can happen, and this is where we will be turning. Let's get our hazards on. And we're going to pull up right here next to this entrance where this trash can is and bring our drinks right inside. We might block this fuel pump. That is no big deal. Right up against the edge. Beautiful. All right, parking brake on. Engines off. And let's get this first load delivered. All right, our first load has been delivered. Fusion Travel Plaza, you've been great. Let's hop back into the truck and continue on our journey. The hatches come off. Let's get this engine fired up. Parking brake comes in. And let's get out there. These type of city runs are all about maximum efficiency. So we need to be as efficient as we can. We've lost a little bit of time already. So we need to really do our best to make up for lost time. All right, let's make a right. And like I said, we are getting back on Route 152 West towards Gilroy. So it's this left right up here. And where that truck stop was located, not too far down the road on Route 152, if we continued east, we would meet up with I-5. But now we are heading back west to head towards the city of Santa Cruz. All right, let's get up to speed here. We'll be continuing straight on Route 152, climbing up through the mountains or the hills, leading into Santa Cruz, where we'll make our next stop at an iconic hotel. We're going to have a little bit of a climb ahead of us, and we are heading to the Mountain Inn. Now, this is based on a real-life Mount Madonna Inn. This is a legendary California roadside motel that closed decades ago. SCS chose to model it in the game, and for the most part, it looks like it is still in operation in the game. However, in real life, I assure you, it is abandoned. All right, let's get down into a low gear. We are in our high range, 7th gear, and we've got a bit of a climb here. All right, we are almost here, and I can see our roadside motel right up here, and like I said, SCS has allowed it to remain open and in service. Let's get our blinker on, and we're gonna pull right up here to the front and get our beverages delivered. All right, parking brake on, engines off, and let's get these beverages offloaded. Let's hop back into the truck and continue on our journey. Parking brake in, traffic is clear. Let's get our blinker on, and let's get back on the road. All right, and we are going to start descending down to our next drop, which is a Sunshine Farms. We've got an order there. This venue does weddings. They're an active farm, but they also do a lot of different types of weddings and other types of celebration events. So it is great that we've got a contract with them to be delivering some crisp cold beverages. And we just need to watch our speed here. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour turn. I am doing 30 in 8th gear. I'll drop it into 7th. And I'll hit that engine brake level 1. There we go. Engine brake comes off. And in real life, this route is a lot longer. I'm grateful that it's in the game, but this doesn't really do it justice. And we are hauling today 22,000 pounds of beverages. So not too much, but for our little 28-foot single axle reefer trailer, that is a pretty good sized load. Let's get these brakes going. Nice and easy here. All right. Let's throw that blinker on. Drop it down into 8th. And hit this turn. All right. Oh, they are waiting for us. We're going to be in this left open door here, in this open bay. So I will pull in here, spin around, back in, and get this next job delivered. Get our hazards on. And right here is good. Parking brake on. Engine's off. All right. Before we hop back into the truck, how good does this setup look? 28-foot single axle reefer and a single axle Mack Anthem with a 10-speed Eaton Fuller and 370 horsepower Cummins. Let's go. Let's fire up the engine. Woo. Roared to life. Parking brake in. Our next stop is again just up the road, but this is probably one of the more interesting stops we have to do. The store is on the opposite side of the road from us, the direction we'll be heading. So what I will do is when we get to the light where the store is off to our left, we're gonna go through the light and make a big U-turn. Oh wow, careful here. Big combine, incredible. And we've got another tractor right here and a side-by-side. Yep, we are in farmland. So we've got to be extra careful. Okay, so that light up there, we're gonna go through it, make a U-turn, and try to park right up there in front of the store. Should I let this RV go? They are going. Okay. Yeah, everybody, go ahead. All right, now is our turn. Looks like this Jeep is going straight. Fantastic. All right, let's make our U-turn before anybody else shows up. Hello. Apologies. This is just what we have to do to make this drop, and I want to be careful of my these trees on the right here. This should be perfect. Beautiful. All right, parking brake on. Let's get our hazards on. Engine off. And let's make this delivery as quickly as we can. All right, another successful drop. We're going to back up gently, head down the road, and turn around. All right, engine's on. We'll keep our hazards on because that'll help folks behind us know what we're doing. Parking brake comes in. I'll back up a bit. Let's be careful with this car in front of us. Oh, we got some traffic on our left. And I'm backing up ever so slowly. Just enough to clear this car. Wow, there is a lot of traffic. All right, we are clear. And is this Jeep going to let us go? No, they are not. Wow, there's a lot of traffic. We need to get our blinker on. Let's get our hazards off. And we are clear after this pickup truck. That is a tight spot. We made it. And cleared our car. Looking absolutely beautiful. All right, I'm going to do a U-turn here. Again, turning wide. And there's a lot of traffic here. They are making a left. They are making a left. Nope. All right, let's start my turn. You can go. And you're making a left, so no. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to be making a right, continuing on a 152. And there is the sign to continue on to Santa Cruz. All right, we're going to be getting on Route 1, taking that north into Santa Cruz, specifically the Harvey West neighborhood, but we got another drop at a car dealership. Okay, that truck's going to get into our lane, so we'll slow down a bit. There you go. Good job. Get over. Beautiful. And this is a short run on Route 1. Drop us off right into the Harvey West neighborhood of Santa Cruz, the north side of Santa Cruz. And here come these beautiful redwoods, pine trees. And if you are familiar with Santa Cruz, California, you know that it is a beautiful, beautiful region. Trees everywhere. Right, here we go. And we're going to take this Moss Beach exit. Right. Looking good. And check out this sign. Welcome to River Street, downtown Santa Cruz. Let's go. Again, we'll be making a right. All right, here we go. Here's our car zone. This is our next drop. And what I will do is I will pull into the Starbridge entrance, try to get spun around, and I will park right there on the left. Go. And this is where having a 28-foot and a single axle pays off huge. Right. Clear this wall, clear this dumpster. And I will pull off right here to the right. Hello, good morning. We have your beverages. I hope you are excited. I know I am. All right, parking brake on. Let's get our hazards on. And let's get this next load delivered. All right, so we have just completed stop number 5, the car zone here in the Harvey West neighborhood. Our next stop is going to have us traveling up State Road 1 for a bit to a cafe diner up in Moss Beach. This is a one-off stop, pretty much out of the way. We'll hit that drop at the diner and head back down south and into Santa Cruz. All right, let's hop back into the truck and continue on our journey. Beautiful. Parking brake comes off, and we're going to be making a left out of here. And we should be able to follow the signs that say towards Moss Beach, Route 1. And I'm not going to call it the Pacific Coast Highway. US 1, Route 1, Pacific Coast Highway, they all can mean the same thing. However, the PCH, or the Pacific Coast Highway, I believe is designated in certain portions of Route 1 or US 1. So this stretch that we're taking out of Santa Cruz officially, from what I was able to find out, is not actually Pacific Coast Highway. Now, in my opinion, any time US 1 runs along the coast, I would not correct anybody if they called it the Pacific Coast Highway. All right, let's get up to speed here. Moss Beach, right lane. Well, that will be us. We should be able to see the Pacific Ocean at stretches. 45 turn here. We are up in our 10th gear. And these roads are twisty, so we have to be extra careful. Check this out. These beautiful Pacific Ocean cliffside. Absolutely incredible. All right, we got a bit of climb here. I'll drop it down into 8th. This is quite a climb. We should be getting into Moss Beach. In fact, here's our diner. And now, again, another vehicle is parked where I would want to be making my drop. So what we'll do, again, is spin around. And it is a lot quieter here. So we'll spin around here. Go into the grass. And we'll make our drop right behind this pickup truck. Let's just watch that sign. Watch our trailer. Looking good. Let's get off the road a bit. Beautiful. Parking brake on. Hazards on. Engines off. And let's get this next job delivered. Beautiful day here in Moss Beach. We made our delivery. They've got their beverages. We are ready to continue on our journey. We've got a few more stops left on our run today. All right. Parking brake comes in. We'll back up a bit. Oh, let's watch this truck behind us. All right, let's back up a bit. We'll let our trailer poke out into the street. Let's get that blinker on. And let's hit the road. And again, we're heading back south now on Route 1, down into the town of Santa Cruz. Should get some nice views as we come down this hill here. And we can see our sign, Santa Cruz, 32 miles. Check this beautiful California coastline. Wow. We've got to watch our speed here. All right, here we go. Here is our NAF fuel. And this is a bit of a tight lot, but we absolutely got this. All right, we're gonna snake in here where it says autos only. I know, but we are not fueling up. We are making a delivery, and here we go. I will pull right up here. Throw my hazards on. Parking brake on, and let's get this next drop delivered. All right, another successful delivery. So this lot is pretty tight. We need to fire up the truck and snake through and around and get back on the road. All right, hazards come off, parking brake comes in. We are clear behind, so I'll back up a bit. We're gonna turn left through here and make our way back out from where we came in. And this is probably the tightest lot I think we'll be in. Again, having a 28-foot single axle with our single axle 4x2 chassis is a game changer. If you are used to doing OTR in American Truck Simulator or, long distance trucking, you might ask, well, why would I need a 4x2? Well, here we go. It's in the game for role plays like this. All right, that trailer's gonna hit the curb a bit. I apologize. We are just fine. All right, let's get out of here. Let's continue on our journey. All right, here we go. Cliff Drive. The Pacific Ocean is dead ahead of us. And we can see the pier and the beach off in the distance. I even see what appears to be a hang glider or a parasailer. And there's the boardwalk, and there is the amusement park. Very cool. Okay, Pizza House. Traffic seems light. I'm going to spin around here. And this is where we'll make our drop. Beautiful. Yep. Just like this. And I might even back us in to get off the street a bit. Let's try that. Let's get our hatches on. Let's get this trailer turning. Let's try to get off the street here. There we go. Alright, getting off the street. Got some room. And perfect. All right, another successful delivery. Let's get back on the road here. I'm gonna pull out of here, make a right, and leave the beach area. Beautiful. All right, and our next stop is right here, the Real Deal Mega Store. So what I'm gonna do is put my four-ways on, and I'm going to see if I can back my trailer off the street and into this, albeit small, perhaps accessible driveway. Just like that. All right. Trailer is moving quick. Oh my goodness. Let's not let it get away from us. Okay, let's try this again. Oh my god, I'm in my high range. Absolutely got it. Let's just get this truck off the street a bit. Beautiful. Parking brake on. Engine's off. And let's hop out and get this next delivery going. Well, this was an absolutely crazy backing situation. But in trucking, you do what you got to do. We were able to jack our trailer in here, get it off the street, drop our beverages off. Let's hop back into the truck and continue on our journey. All right, here we go. Fire up the truck. Let's get our parking brake in. Hatches come off. We are clear. And let's get back on the road. Goodbye, downtown Santa Cruz. You've been absolutely phenomenal. It is time for us to hit the road. We're going to be making a right up here. Our next drop is the home goods store. Looks like we caught this light. Beautiful. Takes us a little bit wide. Not too much. Just enough to clear our trailer. All right, can we make this left here? I think so. Yes, we can. Let's go. Make this right and make our next drop. For this drop, they actually want us in a dock door, which means we're going to go through here, through the back, get into a dock door, make our delivery. The beautiful thing about this dock door delivery is that we don't even have to get out of the truck. We can back into our door. They will open it up, grab their beverages, send us the receipt, and get us on our way here pretty quickly. It is 5:20 in the afternoon, We have 2 more hours to go. And after this, we'll have 1 more stop. All right, I think they want us in door C. It usually is door C. Is door C open? It is. All right, let's get lined up and back in. All right, let's gently guide it into door C. Again, we've got a roll-up door, so we don't have to worry about swinging our doors open. We can roll it up once we back into the dock door. Let's get our hazards on. Go, we're lined up. Let's get underneath it. Keep it lined up. Looking good. Looking real good. And let's bump the dock. Almost there. Boom. All right, parking brake on. Engine's off. And let's get this next load delivered. All right, we have been given the green light. Let's fire up the truck. Get these hazards off. Parking brake comes in. And pull forward from the door. We need to get spun around here and head out the way we came in. So it should be plenty of room. Again, we are in a 4x2 and a 28-foot reefer, so we should have no issues maneuvering. And even though we've had some tight deliveries and tight drops today, I don't think we've really struggled too much. Thank you so much. It's 5:30 in the afternoon. Got less than 2 hours to go. We have 1 more stop, and it is the iconic State Road 17. All right, our final stop today is stop number 11, the Country Store. Now, this is based on, again, a real-life store up in Los Gatos on SR 17. We're going to head out of here, head north on Route 17 through the mountains a bit, make our drop at the Country Store, continue on 880 back towards San Jose. I am so glad with how this day is going. We've had a couple hiccups here and there, but for the most part, it is going very well. All right, let's get up in the 9th gear. I am full throttle. We've got some elevation coming up here, but we won't have to go very far before we hit our Country Store. Right lane is clear. And how are we on this merge? Again, we are clear. All right, I am in 9th gear. You're doing 50 miles an hour. We do not have far to go. In fact, I see some flags here. Here is our Country Store. You're going to pass it, pull into the right, and get this last delivery going. Beautiful. Look at this detail. Absolutely stunning. We'll take this wide. There we go. Just like that. And I will double park right here next to this SUV. Like so. Throw my 4-ways on. Parking brake comes on. Engine's off. And let's get our last load delivered. And what an absolutely amazing sunset and afternoon we have here. It's been a wonderful time down here in the Santa Cruz region. I'm excited to get back on SR 17, head up 880 towards 101, and drop off our truck and end our shift at our USBB Depot. Ooh, this truck looks good. It has been an absolute treat to be in this truck today. All right, let's get our hazards off. Let's go engines on. Parking brake comes in. And we're going to pull down here, spin around, and get back on the road. I need to take this wide because there's boulders here. Everything is here. In fact, I almost should turn around, but I think we can do it this way. I might have been wrong here. I might have been very wrong. We'll just have to be extra careful. Man, there's a lot of traffic. How is this going to work? Yes, after this car. All right, let's be extra careful here. Let's clear. Oh my goodness. Bruh. Very close. That was so close. All right, let's go. Alright, we need... Oh no. Alright, we need to absolutely hammer down here. Are my lights on? They are. Okay. Now, it gets twisty here, and if you have been on SR-17 in real life, you know that you have to be extra careful here. Accidents are incredibly easy. The turns are tight. The speed is quick on this road, and we need to be very mindful of getting there quickly, not jeopardizing our lives, our truck, or anybody else on the road. All right, looking good. And we're going to need to keep our eyes peeled for signs to get on 101 north. We are now back on 880 north. And we should not have too far to go. Let's take a look here. All right, we've got some signs. 101 south, next right. That is not us. So we'll probably be right after that. And here we go. 101 north, San Francisco, next right. You got it. It is 7:02 p.m. All right, let's get these engine brakes on. Here's our exit. Right lane is clear. Let's bring it down into 9th. Down into 8th. Fantastic. And it might tighten up here before it spits us out on the 101. All right, engine brake comes off. Hammer down. We are cutting it way too close today. Way too close today. Here we go. This is our exit. Bayshore Highway is our exit. Our USBB Depot is just a turn away. And we are a few minutes late, but I think we will be just fine. All right, we are clear left. And here we are, back at our USBB Depot. And it looks like we will be around 15 minutes late. So hopefully there are no major issues, write-ups, and we can end our shift for the day. Hello, yes, I know, I'm here, I'm late. Where would you like us? Same spot as always, right here. So we are gonna drive through, get spun around, and park right here on the left. That is always where they want us to end our day, and that's no problem today. All right, we're spun around, getting lined up, back our trailer in, shut everything down, and we will be done for the day. We almost did this within 14 hours. As it stands, we were 15 minutes late getting back into the depot. And for this being our second time doing this run, I am not too upset. Oh my gosh, we just jacked this up. All right, let's pull forward. Let's fix our trailer. And I will stop talking for a minute. And we will finish this run. All right, looking good. The trailer is going to swing a lot, so we don't need to be chasing it. There we go. I think this is it. Come on, give us the green. Beautiful. All right, parking brake on. Engine's off. Uh-oh. Engine's off. Hazard's off. And let's see how we did. All right, we drove 346 miles today on our Santa Cruz city trucking run, earning ourselves $978 for the day. Fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's time for me to get some rest. Enjoy this California sunset. If you did, please consider a like or even subscribing for more content. As always, I hope you take care, and I'll see you in the next one.